Lawyers, let me ask you something. Why would your audience actually want to watch your videos? There's so many interesting lawyer and attorney content pages out there, so why would they choose you? If you don't have an answer for this one question, this video is a must watch for you. So, content plan for lawyers. Here's where the magic happens. After you've completed your brand analysis and competitor analysis, something powerful happens. A very clear picture begins to form in your mind. You start to see exactly what you want to do, where you need to focus, and which direction feels right. And trust me, focus is everything. Most lawyers jump straight into creating random content ideas or going to some law firm's page who has millions of followers and copying that same format. But that's not the right place to start. The very first and most important question you must answer is, why would my audience even want to watch my content in the first place? Once you know this answer, then you can move on to execution. Execution is secondary. First, you need clarity on value. Why would your audience watch your content? Because they want value. They're not just watching you for you, they're watching you to gain something from you. They want to feel like the time they spend watching you is worth it. And value, when it comes to content, can be broken down into three main types. The first is practical value, the second, status value, and the third, emotional value. Let's talk about practical value. Practical value is about helping your target audience solve their problems. The real purpose of your content strategy is to help them solve problems, while at the same time naturally converting that content into sales of your legal services. For example, if you're an immigration lawyer, what should your content be about? Should you just talk about how great you are or how prestigious your firm is? No, that doesn't help anyone, and a viewer gets no value from that. Instead, your focus should be on giving practical answers to what your audience is struggling with: their needs, their questions, their fears, their biggest mistakes. You create content that addresses those things directly and gives real practical advice. And within that content, you integrate subtle ways to sell your services. Just remember, it's not about you, it's about solving your client's problems. Status value now. What is status value? Status value might sound complicated, but let me explain it for you in very simple terms. Simply, it's about fulfilling your audience's need for self-expression, uniqueness, or belonging to a certain group. For example, let's say your law firm positions itself as premium legal service providers. How do you communicate that? You show it through your content. You highlight the types of clients that you serve, the premium experience that you offer, and the status that comes with working with you. This social trigger is extremely powerful. In fact, it's the same principle big global brands use to grow. Think of luxury cars, high-end suits, or designer brands. People don't just pay for quality, they pay for belonging to an exclusive and elite group of people. Emotional value. Finally, we have emotional value. This type of content is about giving your audience pleasant emotions. It's content that makes people laugh, smile, and feel good. For lawyers, this could be funny skits or relatable situations from legal life or light-hearted moments that entertain your audience. But here's the important part. Emotional content should not be the foundation of your brand strategy. It's a great supplement, but it's not the main course. Too many firms make the mistake of focusing only on entertainment, doing viral dances, and doing every single trend that they see online. Our experience shows it only works when used sparingly to complement your practical and status driven content. So here's one simple truth: people only watch content if they find it valuable. And value isn't limited to serious or boring educational, stale videos. Value can be practical, status driven, or emotional. Remember it. When you understand this framework, you have a foundation to build on. Once you have that foundation, the next step is to move into content pillars. Step 1. Write down the main segments of your target audience that you want to create content for. Just as an example, if you're an immigration lawyer, your audience segments could look like this. Number 1, family immigration and green card seekers, spouses, parents, children applying for residency. Number 2, employment and business visas, professional students, entrepreneurs needing work or study permits. Number 3, deportation defense and asylum seekers, for individuals facing removal proceedings or seeking refugee protection. Next, we open a simple table. On the left side, we list all of the problems, challenges, and tasks that each audience segment has. Do not hold back. Write down as many as you can. On the top row, we put the 3 types of value: practical, status, and emotional. Here's how it works in practice. Let's take one problem: understanding which visa somebody qualifies for. Practical value content ideas. Number 1, a step-by-step guide, how to choose the right work visa. Number 2, top 3 mistakes people make when applying for employment visas. Status value content ideas could be: number 1, how executives expand their business to the US through visas. Emotional value content ideas could be the stress of choosing the wrong visa, one client story, or a funny skit. What happens when you realize you applied for the wrong visa type? And you do this for every segment. You brainstorm as many ideas as possible, and soon you'll have an entire library of content loaded up and ready to go. This system saves an unbelievable amount of time for entrepreneurs and lawyers. By the way, we can actually create this for you. If you want help, just book a free call with me using the link below, and I'll show you exactly how we build these tables for our clients. Content planning. Once you have your table of audience segments, problems, and value types, you now have the foundation for a real content plan. You're no longer guessing or asking yourself, what should I post today? You have a full bank of ideas that can last you for months. This is exactly what we use for our clients, and it works incredibly well. And here's a pro tip. Now, let's add one more layer that top companies in the world use: consistent branding. Think about it. Can you recognize a brand just by looking at a few seconds of their content, even without seeing their logo? Of course you can. Why? Because they follow a very clear and consistent visual style. It's not just about a logo, it's about the colors, the fonts, the tone of their voice, and every little quirk and how they communicate with you. We apply this for our clients as well. And while it's not mandatory, it dramatically increases the chances that potential clients will remember you. The truth is, very few law firms actually do this, but I highly recommend it. Consistent branding across all content makes you unforgettable.